Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the whole flock of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Got to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. The Most High, the Heavenly Father. His Hebrew name is Yahweh, not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not God, not Elohim, not Most High, not Lord, not Yah, not Jah, not Ahaya, not Allah, not Abba, not Yahuwah. It's Yahweh. Not Hashem, not Yahweh, Haveh, Vaveh. It's Yahweh. And his only God's son name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shai. Not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ, not Serapis Christos, not Yeshaya, not Yehoshua, not Yahusha, not Jesus Christos. It's Yahweh Shai. So got to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rikah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, elder, bishop, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, whether accepted or not. And the sincere salutation to all the Akim, believing this truth and pushing this truth throughout the four winds of the earth, the entire world, shedding light to the whole elect. Shalom to the Akwath who are listening learning, you few sisters who are listening learning. I'm Isaiah from GMS Orlando, Camp Prophet of Doom, coming after another lesson in truth, facts, faith, and edification. Another day of edification.
This is your wake-up call. The British government
check this out.
is pushing forward with plans for a national digital ID system. They've called it the Brit Card. And if that name doesn't send a chill down your spine, you have not been paying attention. I'm Bev Turner, and this is GB News Originals. Don't forget to subscribe to the GB News YouTube channel, please. Now let's call it what it really is. The Brit Card is not about making your life easier. It's about making you easier to track, control and punish if you step out of line across whatever line of the day is deemed important. They've wrapped it up in slick PR language about streamlining services and enhancing security and making sure that the Windrush scandal never happens again, because people who are allowed to live here will have the proof that they do so. They're also telling you all through the press that this will stop people coming over here on small boats. That is patently untrue. It isn't just about proving who you are online. That all sounds rather lovely. This is about building a centralized, state-controlled digital identity system that could be used, will be used, to link your finances, your medical history, your travel movements, your social media activity, even your social activity in real life, and more. It's quite frankly a digital dog tag, and once it's clipped around your neck, you will not be able to take it off. So let's start with the basics. What is this Brit Card? According to leaked briefings and government statements, and frankly any of us who've been paying attention knew this was coming, the Brit Card is going to act as a unified digital identification that every British citizen can use to access public services to prove their identity and eventually, though they won't say this part out loud, link with your banking, your health and your travel movements. They're calling it optional for now, but we've heard that line before. Remember vaccine passports? Yes, I do. They started as a temporary solution, but within weeks, you couldn't get into a pub or fly abroad without one. Make no mistake, the Brit Card is the foundation of a surveillance state. Once in place, it will become incredibly easy to expand, quietly, incrementally, until it is essential for anything you want to do. You want to apply for a job? Brit Card. Rent a flat? Brit Card. Take a train? You guessed it. Brit Card. And once that is normal, it is no longer this so-called card. It is a digital chain. It is invisible, but it is ironclad. The sales pitch, of course, for this is it's all about security and efficiency. The government's narrative is all very slick, and they will say this is to reduce fraud. They'll tell you it'll make accessing NHS services easier or help you prove who you are when applying for benefits. All of that sounds great until you realise what you're giving up in return. A centralised ID, like the Brit Card, will track everything you do. So when you check in to the GP surgery, the government will know. When you make a payment, when you log into a website, when you get on a train, imagine a digital record of your daily life monitored by both public and private entities. Your movements, your choices, your health, and critically, your opinions. This is not hypothetical. This technology exists. It will be easy to implement. The motivation to make it happen exists. And the right pretext, I don't know, another pandemic, a financial crisis, a spike in online hate speech, you will be told this is all for your own good. And if you think this ends with digital ID, I've got a bridge to sell you. The front pages of the papers this week were telling you, as though you're idiots, that a BRIC card will stop people coming over on small boats seeking asylum, refuge, or being an economic migrant, because those people can often escape into the black market economy, working without the state knowing anything about them. Well, the state is already meant to know about them. If they're being given jobs, they should have the papers to secure that job. The BRIC card won't make any difference to that at all. It will not operate as a deterrent to people who want to come across to this wonderful country. So just ignore that when you're being sold that idea. Let's also not forget that we are already seeing the slow creep of programmable money. The Bank of England is working on a digital pound and has been for a few years. And there are active conversations now about linking spending capabilities to your digital identity. That means if your ID is flagged, limited or suspended, I don't know, because maybe you said some hurty words on social media, that will mean you can't access your own money. Just let that sink in. The government already has a proven track record of making life extremely difficult for people who don't toe their very narrow line. From freezing protesters' bank accounts to threatening censorship online, the precedent is clear. Give power-hungry bureaucrats without sufficient conscience or imagination a system like BRICcard, and you're handing these idiots the keys to your digital life. And just wait until it's tied to your carbon tracking or your health data. You didn't recycle this week? Points will be deducted. Bought too much red meat or petrol? Access denied. Did you say something misleading? Perhaps some misinformation, the kind of stuff that you and I would know to be true on social media? Your account will be flagged. If you think that is far-fetched, then you haven't been reading the same websites as me. You just have to go and have a cursory glance to the World Economic Forum website, and it's all there in black and white as an ambition. No vote, no debate, no accountability, no parliamentary scrutiny. This is all happening whilst we are talking about less important things. Now, what makes a BRIC card so dangerous isn't just what it does, it's how it's being rolled out. There's been no referendum, no meaningful public debate, no mainstream media scrutiny worth mentioning. Everybody just treats this as though it's a fait accompli, and they completely lack the vision or the cynicism to work out what's going on. It's being slid in under the radar, piecemeal, behind closed doors, dressed up as tech innovation. It is classic mission creep. And right now we're told the BRIC card will be voluntary. Of course it is. But so was the NHS app. So was that ridiculously expensive 30 billion quid track and trace check-in app. So was digital banking, remember? That would always be optional. Not anymore. Over time, these systems like those evolve from handy options for convenience into non-negotiable requirements. The infrastructure is being built while we're distracted. And once it's in, it's only a matter of flipping a few switches before it becomes mandatory. It isn't mandatory, of course, if you're having to be coerced into using it because you cannot function every day without it. And once we're at that stage, it will be too late to push back. Now, people will say, I hear it a lot, if you have done nothing wrong, Bev, you have nothing to fear. This is the language of tyrants or just deeply naive people who still think the government have their best interests at heart. Your right to privacy is not conditional on your obedience to the government or what society deems the latest omni-trend. You do not have to justify why you want to keep your medical data, your spending habits, or your daily movements about your city or your country or the world, frankly, to yourself. That is called freedom. We are supposed to live in a liberal, Western democracy, not a digital cage in which we can't operate without the permission of bureaucrats at the other end of our telephones. Now, when the state can track you at will, freeze your finances and control access to services based on your compliance, it doesn't matter how well behaved you are. You've already lost the most basic of liberties, the freedom to live without constantly seeking permission to do normal, everyday things. So what can we do? This is the tricky part, but it is necessary. Try as far as possible not to opt in. And I know that's really difficult because we're not quite there yet, but there will be a pushback like there was with vaccine passports. Try not to let your data be captured willingly. Use cash still whenever possible. It's one of the best ways to fight back. It is private, it is anonymous, and it is the antidote to control-based payment systems. Speak to your MP. Demand transparency. Demand a referendum. Demand a say on this. Send them links. Send them this video. Hi. Send them anything that you think will educate your MPs, because they probably also feel similarly about freedom, but maybe they just don't understand the significance of what they are voting through. You need to support independent journalism as well and tech alternatives. Big tech is part of the problem. We need decentralized platforms, not government monitored IDs. And talk to your mates, talk to your family. Make sure this isn't like vaccine passports where everyone was a little bit awkward and didn't know whether we should bring it up over Sunday lunch in case somebody at the table hadn't taken a state mandated injection. Talk about digital ID. Ask people, do you know what the Brit card is? Do you know what it will do? Do you know what the implications are? It's such an important conversation. It's literally the most important conversation that we should be having at this time. Because once the Brit card becomes part of daily life, resistance will be painted as extremist. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? So speak up now while we still can. And finally, this is about power. The Brit card isn't about technology. It's not about convenience. It's not even about illegal immigration, regardless of what they tell you. It is about power. Who has it? Who controls it? And who loses it? If we let our MPs, cheered on by tech companies, push this through without a fight, it won't be long before asking the wrong question, spending money on the wrong things, or holding the wrong opinion will put you on the wrong side of the system. And there will be millions of people who will be happy to cheer this through. It's not even about left or right. It makes that old-fashioned political paradigm utterly irrelevant. It is about being free or being trapped. And if we don't draw the line here at Britcard, it may be the last line that we ever freely get to draw. I won't be living with you in a digital cage. I will do everything to remain outside of that system.
See that?
Thank
See that? Labor Together said. See that? Let's back up. Labor Together said, by introducing a mandatory universal national identity credential, BRIC card, the Labor government has the opportunity to build a new piece of silver infrastructure, something that will become a familiar feature of daily life for everyone in the country. See this? And as the title of the lesson is Digital ID Trap, why you should be worried about government overreach. The word government mean mind control. Control mind when you look it up. See this? It will support better enforcement of migration rules and protect vulnerable British citizens from being wrongly denied their rights. It could end identity exclusion, resolving uncertainty and risk for those whose status is uncertain, and providing a quick, secure, privacy preserving means for everyone to verify their identity and their migration status when dealing with government, when taking up a new job or taking on property. See, this page shows that digital identity will help improve the enforcement of our rules dramatically. See, this is that new world system, and this is all about tracking your life. Tracking your life. You see how they say it right here? It say it could end identity exclusion. No, right here, the top. By introducing a mandatory universal national identity credential, BRIC card, the Labor government has the opportunity to build a new piece of silver infrastructure, something that will become a familiar feature of daily life for everyone in the country. And this is going to be pushed throughout the four corners of the earth. And the infrastructure for the mark of the beast is already set up, man. It's the conditioning the people's mind. See, this is what the apostles, elder bishops, and elders and brothers been telling you. The apostles been talking about this ever since they've been teaching the truth, man. Apostle Hall been teaching this ever since he been teaching. This has been pushed to you what is going to happen. This is them want to track your life, your food, your money, and you. And I was when a couple things she mentioned, I thought about, hey, and this is the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai. Hey, because these Edomites, they can go into all these things, right? They can go into all this and tell you what's going on. They can't tell you why. So this is the simplicity in Yahweh Shai. She mentioned this. This is Daniel. Let's go to Daniel. This is Daniel. Not Daniel, Salakia. I'm gonna come back to that. Ezekiel 28. Because this is what the Esau Edom, the so-called white man, want to do. Big brother's watching. Ezekiel 28:3. Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. So this is Esau Edom, the so-called white man. He want to be the all-seeing eye. And I thought about this one in Daniel 12:4. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. This is the so-called white man playing God, man. He want to be the all-seeing eye, like I tell you in a couple precepts I just want to quote. You got Psalms 34:7, and it reads, they that fear the Lord, the angels encampeth around them, right? Oh, let's get this. As a matter of fact, let's just go to this. This is Proverbs 15:3, right here. It reads, the eyes of Yahweh are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. See, this is what the so-called white man trying to do. Because in China, they have over 3 million cameras, maybe more. But they said it's like 6 or 7 cameras to every person. So ain't no back alley deals going on in China, man. Everything is being seen through face recognition. And they got a credit score set up. And I was doing a lesson the other day, and they mentioned that, man. Being tracked, everything being done through who you are through your credit score. But this Esau Edom want to be the Lord, man. Proverbs 15:3. Again, the eyes of Yahweh are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. And this is what the so-called white man want to do. He want to be the all-seeing eye. He want to be everywhere at all times. Like the Lord, right? The Lord, the Heavenly Father Yahweh, through his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, omnipotent, omnipotent, omnipresent. Omnipresent means the Lord is everywhere all the time. And this is what the so-called white man is doing. So yeah, this is them. And what did Klaus Schwab say? They want to the carbon footprint. They want to track your food from the soil to the fork. This is about tracking your life, your food, your money, and you. Where you spending your money at, where you going, how long you was there, all that, man. So here it is. Digital ID trap. Why you should be worried about the government overreach. And the word government means controlled minds. And this is what they doing, conditioning through gradualism. This is Revelation 13-16. It reads, and he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man may bow, sell, say he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast. For it is the number of a man, and that man is the Edomites, the so-called white man, the elites. And his number is 666. And everything you see that goes on is dealing with numbers, man. So here it is. You see it. Labor together said, by introducing a mandatory universal national identity credential, BRIC card, the Labor government has the opportunity to build a new piece of silver infrastructure, something that will become a familiar feature of daily life for everyone in the country. And it's going to go throughout the four corners of the earth. And before it gets to America being mandatory, this is the Lord using the so-called white man to test it in the other countries before it comes to America in perfection. It reads again, by introducing a mandatory universal national identity credential, BRIC card, the Labor government has the opportunity to build a new piece of civic infrastructure. I said civil. Of civic infrastructure, something that will become a familiar feature of daily life for everyone in the country. It would support better enforcement of migration rules and protect vulnerable British citizens from being wrongly denied their rights. See, this is the play on words, man. This is Isaiah 10:1. Woe to him that decree unrighteous decrees. That's what this is. But they got it coming off. It sounds sweet, right? Psalms. It makes sense. Psalms 55:21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war is in his heart. And the war is to come against humanity, to be tracked. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawing swords. And the words of his mouth is like a sword, man. So going back, you see it, man. This is what Esau Edom, the so-called white man, is pushing, man. The elites, for you to be tracked, traced, man. Lord was edifying. Got to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rikah Korash. Double honors to the apostles, elder, bishop, and elders of Great Millstone, who rule well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, whether accepted or not. And a sincere salutation to all the Akim pushing this truth and believing this truth at the four ends of the earth. The entire world shedding light to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the Akwath who are listening learning. If you sisters who are listening learning. Hey, so right here, right? And I want to say again, a sincere salutation to all the Akim believing this truth and pushing this truth and working on changing that right correctly. Because I used to say always, pushing the truth and believing the truth. No, first you got to believe the truth and then you push it. As the scripture tell you, I believe, therefore have I spoken. So I'm trying to correct that. So Salakia. But here, the Brexit, right? The Britain, which is the Brexit was Great Britain, CSA of Britain, and exit was the withdrawal of the United Kingdom from the European Union, right? It reads, Brexit officially took place at 23 GMT on 31st January 2020. It said the UK, which joined the EU's precursors, the European Communities, EC, on January the 1st, 1973, is the only member state that have withdrawn from the EU, although the territories of Algeria, formerly part of France, left in 1976, and Greenland, part of the Kingdom of Denmark, previously left the EC in 1985. Following Brexit, EU law and the Court of Justice of the European Union no longer have primacy over British laws, but the UK remains legally bound by obligations in the various treaties it has with other countries around the world, including many with EU member states, and indeed with the EU itself. The European Union Withdrawal Act 2018 retains relevant EU law as domestic law, which the UK can amend or repeal. So here it is, the UK, right, exited, right, and they doing their own thing, allegedly, but they all together, because what he doing? They are pushing by introducing a label together, said, by introducing a mandatory universal national identity credential. See? That will become a familiar feature of daily life for everyone in the country. And this is coming to America, Babylon the Great. We are watching it happen. And remember, if Britain is pushing this is Jeremiah. The world going to push it, man. Jeremiah 50:12, it reads, Your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. The mother of America, Babylon the Great, is Great Britain, man. So, yeah, you see it. Read again. I'm going to close. Labor Together said, by introducing a mandatory universal national identity credential, BRIC card, the Labor government has the opportunity to build a new piece of civic infrastructure, something that will become a familiar feature of daily life for everyone in the country. It will support better enforcement of migration rules and protect vulnerable British citizens from being wrongly denied their rights. It could end identity exclusion. See, and when you look up the word Revelations 13:15, when it said they shall be killed that don't take the chip, the mark of the beast, one word is two definitions for the word kill. One is to be omitted, right? Meaning to be excluded, to be left out. The other one is to be a part of the other one is to be killed. So if you don't take it, you can possibly lose your life. Or if you don't take it, you'll be ousted. You'll just be like an outcast. So it reads, it could end identity exclusion, resolving uncertainty and risk for those whose status is uncertain, and providing a quick, secure, privacy preserving means for everyone to verify their identity and their migration status when dealing with the government, when taking up a new job or taking on property. This paper shows that digital identity will help improve the enforcement of our rules dramatically. Lawrence edifying. Till next time, I say shalom.